Count money, man. Stack riches. Try and told him I'm a beast blood.
What's up, gang? Welcome back to another episode of the GRINDcast. Get ready. It's a new day, and today's message is going to be, I quit my way to the top. I quit my way to the top. You ever see anybody interviewed and they said, hey, we just wanted to know, how did you do it? How did you win that championship? How did you blow up that business? How did you make your stock soar? How did you get it to go public and sell it? Tell us the secret. And they said, every time things got difficult, I just quit. Said nobody ever. Okay? Now there's going to be times where you're going to want to give up. So I'm inspired today. This is beautiful. This makes me feel like a proud dad, okay? I'm proud of one of our people, one of our young leaders building a super successful business. Put this post up today, and I'm going to read it to you, and then we're going to talk about it, okay? Now, he says, I'll never forget the early days, waking up before the sun, chasing leads that went nowhere, and wondering if all the sacrifice would even be worth it. See, now this is somebody right now driving a Ferrari and a Rolls Royce. Got two of them, two different cars, okay, in his 20s. Went to medical school. Didn't pursue that and ends up doing this business and blowing up a successful business for himself. So he says, I'll never forget the early days, waking up before the sun. Well, people miss that. Now, this young man, what he was saying is I was waking up before the sun, before the Rolls Royce, before the Ferrari, chasing leads that went nowhere. Means he didn't have success out of the gates and wondering if all the sacrifice would be worth it. So before he got the results, he was wondering in his mind, is all these things that I'm doing right now, I'm wondering, is it worth it? I was broke. I was tired. Can anybody relate? I was broke. I was tired and silently fighting battles that nobody else could see. Can anybody else relate to that? Have you ever been silently fighting battles that nobody else could see? Like on the outside, you're trying to keep it together, but inside, you're fighting battles that nobody knows about. You feel like nobody even cares about, okay? In this moment. There were times I sat in my dorm room, because he started with us while he was in school, after a long day, head against the desk, fighting back frustration because nothing was clicking. Oh, now this guy, I thought because you had the Rolls Royce, everything was clicking. Everything must have clicked for you. You had the Ferrari, the red Ferrari. How? I thought everything must have been clicking. No, I said nothing was clicking. I wasn't seeing results like others. See, what happens is you see people that are successful and you think they must have had everything easy. There's something wrong with you. That they must have caught on super fast. I wasn't seeing results like others. I bet you if whoever those others in his mind were, I bet you he passed up 90% of them. Friends were out enjoying life while I was grinding in silence, sacrifices. Friends were out partying, having fun, going to clubs, doing this. He's grinding. And for a long time, it felt like I wasn't winning. But something inside me refused to quit. Now, most people, what happens is they stop at that last paragraph. It felt like I wasn't winning. And then they say, so I quit. So I gave up. So I made an excuse. So I changed companies for the third time in the last 18 months. But that's not how winning is done. So he said, but something inside me refused to quit. I told myself if I could just outwork and outlast everyone, then I'll become successful. So that means if I told myself, what he's saying is, whether he realized it or not, is I'm going to control the things that I can control. I can control not quitting, and I can control working as hard as I could possibly work. Said, so I kept showing up even when it hurt. This is key. This is where you got to decide if you want to get and go where winners go or not. You got to show up when it hurts. You got to show up when you don't feel like it. So I kept showing up even when it hurt. I kept sacrificing even when the results weren't there. See, people want to sacrifice, but they want an immediate return. And if they don't get an immediate return, then they'll stop sacrificing. He said, I kept sacrificing even when the results weren't there. Fast forward to now, and I'm living the very reality that I once begged God to give me. You can miss that part. How many of you out there are hitting your knees and begging God? How bad do you want it? Have you hit your knees and begged God for the vision that you see, for the things that you want? Have you controlled the things that you can control, such as not quitting and working harder than everybody else? Do you show up when you don't feel like it? Do you sacrifice while your friends are going out and partying? He said the late nights turned into freedom. The rejection turned into growth. The struggle turned into the foundation of everything I'm building today. The struggle turned into the foundation. Now, if you don't get the struggle, you don't get the foundation. So many want to skip the struggle, they skip the foundation. You didn't hear me. So many want to skip the struggle, they skip the foundation. You ever see somebody that seems like they're unbreakable? Like, man, that tranquilizer should have killed you by now. Like, how do you not break? Well, because the struggle is the foundation. When you're born out of the struggle and you grow from the struggle and you build from the struggle, you're comfortable in the struggle. And that becomes your foundation. And that's a beautiful thing because there is no success without struggle. So if you don't get comfortable and change your relationship with struggle and allow that to be your foundation, then you're not going to have much success, or you're not going to have it for a long time, because the foundation of success ends up being struggle. That's the tricky thing about success, he said. People only see the highlight reel. They don't see the sleepless nights, the breakdowns, the sacrifices that got you here, the breakdowns. You know what that means, breakdowns? Like basically crying by yourself in a room, like locked in, contemplating life, like, am I doing the right thing? Am I ever going to make it? Most people quit after that. That's why most people don't get to drive the rolls. If you're in the beginning grind right now, don't give up. Your story is still being written. One day, the same pain that feels unbearable will be the key part to the story you're able to tell when you're successful. Success doesn't come to the comfortable, it comes to the relentless. Amen. Amen. Success doesn't come to the comfortable, it comes to the relentless. Some of you are listening out there and you're in this part of the story right now that's like, this is the season that you're in of, this sucks. I'm putting in the work, I ain't getting a result. Or I took 5 steps forward, I just took 3 steps back. How much more can I take? How much longer can I go? How much more do I got to give? How much more do I got to sacrifice? Is it all going to worth it? Is it all going to be worth it? Is it all going to pay off? Why am I going through that season, those moments? That's the foundation that builds you to go to the next level. Big dreams, big devils, small dreams, small devils. Get comfortable. Being uncomfortable. You got to have a vision. And look, this thing ain't about Rolls Royces and Ferraris. I sold my Rolls. I don't think I've ever had a Ferrari. I've never had a Ferrari. At this point in my life, I don't want a Ferrari and I don't want a Rolls Royce. I got me a nice black truck. I'm comfortable in it. All black, everything. So don't take it out of context if you're like, well, I can't relate because I don't want the red Ferrari. Neither do I. But the red Ferrari and the Rolls Royce, that all that represents is like a championship ring. It don't mean that you're better than anybody else. It don't mean you look down on anybody. None of that stuff. It just means that represents you had a big goal that you wanted to hit. You probably had to make a bunch of sacrifices. You probably had to go through a bunch of stuff. You probably had to work a bunch of hours. You probably got knocked down a bunch of times. You probably wanted to give up a bunch of times and kept going, and so you didn't, and you kept going and you wanted, so you got yourself a Rolls Royce. It ain't about the Rolls Royce. It's about the perseverance and the person that you became on the journey. So if you want the, whatever it is, we're going to call it the Rolls Royce. You may want to use something else, pickup truck, Hemi, whatever, okay? Don't matter. You may want you a big fishing boat, whatever. I'm going to talk about right now, because this is the GRINDcast. This ain't your podcast. This is what I'm going to use as an example, is the Rolls Royce and the Ferrari. And you don't get the Rolls Royce and the Ferrari if you don't give that type of effort before it's paying you Rolls Royce and Ferrari money. If you want Rolls Royce and Ferraris, you got to take Rolls Royce and Ferrari ass whoopings. You're going to get beat down. You're going to get knocked down. You're going to get ridiculed. You're going to get told you can't do it, shouldn't do it. Called things, called names, whatever, in the process of being great and being rare. If you're listening to this, you're already on your way. You're already rare. You already want to be great. You took almost 15 minutes out of your day and said, hey, I'm going to spend it in the studio with Simon and Josh. We're going to do the GRINDcast today to try to pour into ourselves. You're already a rare breed out there. So you're already on the right track. Just don't quit. Don't give up. Do what winners do, and you're going to have what winners have. If you think this message helped you in any way, shape, or form, would you do us a favor? We're actually not taking any donations. All right, but the favor is, can you donate the GRINDcast to somebody? Could you forward it to somebody and say, hey, check this out. Listen to this. This might help you out. So we could just spread the word, spread the love to somebody and see if we could impact some people, see how far our reach can go. And we appreciate you. Have the best week ever by having the best day that you could possibly have. Not all days are going to be perfect. Not all situations are going to be perfect. Your attitude ain't always going to be perfect. We're all human, but do the best that you could do to make the best out of these next 24 hours. And as always, we appreciate you joining us in the GRINDcast studio. Get ready. It's a new day.